In the last episode, we were sitting pretty at 9th position, a few games out from the halfway mark. Our form was horrendous, however, we managed to find a miraculous recovery, resulting in some very good results against some very good sides. But before we go any further, if you've enjoyed the series so far, make sure to drop a like on the video, for the algorithm and all that kind of stuff. And to be ready for future episodes and content, make sure you're subscribed and have the notification bell turned on too. We start this episode off with some good news as Morgan Gibbs-White returns, as well as Omar Richards, who's been out since the start of the season. From our stomping of Liverpool in the last episode, we move on to the next round of the Carabao Cup. We managed to get ourselves a nice mouth-watering tie against East Midlands rivals Leicester. Something that the fans will really look forward to. The first game of the episode sees Awoniyi charge past the Newcastle defenders, get into close range and tucking away the first goal. This was followed up by Nico Williams charging down the wing, driving a ball across the face of goal for Awoniyi to get a brace. It's that time of the season for the FA Cup to begin. Here we're able to snag a favourable tie away at Wigan, which will be useful to give some rotation to our squad. We get our early assessment of the youth intake, which looks to be given top marks by our staff. Hopefully there's a world-class goalkeeper in there. The World Cup was in full swing, seeing England finally lift the trophy after all those years of hurt, thanks to Rafael Varane's own goal. With Aaron Ramsdale being the keeper of choice for England. Southgate, are you watching? But we're back into the action and we play Leicester in the Cup. Awoniyi picked up where he left off last time to go 1-0 up. Patson Daka wasn't messing around either and hit us back with a response. But Awoniyi wasn't done with Leicester today and he was able to score the winner for us, ending 2-1. Unsurprisingly, after the game, Neil Lennon was a little bit hairy in the press conference and was very close to getting himself knocked out. And with that win in the Carabao Cup, we are now going into the business end of the Cup, where we got ourselves a draw against Tottenham, which, to be fair, there was a few teams in here which we'd rather take, but it just wasn't to be. We'll take the harder route this time instead. After a solid first half of the season for us, I decided to exercise the contract extension clause in Jesse Lingard's contract for another season. Our next game was a pretty balanced one, and we found ourselves drawing 0-0 to Everton. Over in Wales, they had their end of year awards, with Brennan Johnson picking up both Player of the Year as well as Young Player of the Year. And with that, the clock struck midnight and Gustavo Scarpa found himself in sunny Nottingham, ready to begin life as a Forest player. Up next, Brentford paid us a visit, and to their credit, they put in a very good shift against us. They managed to find the goal they needed to run away with all 3 points. And after that loss, we needed to take our anger out on someone, so we did. Brennan Johnson scored with the help of the woodwork, which was then countered by Little Martinez equalising for Manchester United. But little did they know we have a striker on the pitch who was itching to end his goal drought. Dennis's shot was deflected, with Super Sammy Surridge nodding it home for the win. Time for some FA Cup action now, and we had a relatively quiet game, but was able to find the breakthrough needed via Emmanuel Dennis to end 1-0. And as a result, we drew Peterborough in the 4th round of the FA Cup. Back to the Carabao Cup now, and Yves Bissouma scored an absolutely ferocious volley, giving them the lead. And it just simply wasn't to be for us today, as summer signing Mislav Orsic ended all hope by scoring their second. On the way home, we stopped by Aston Villa in a bid to right our wrongs from the last game. Tyrone Mings scores first. Jacob Ramsey frees himself easily from our defence to go 2 up, and we lose the ball in midfield, and it's played to Ollie Watkins, who scores a pretty decent goal to be honest. And to round it off, Silas scores a penalty to end in a 4-0 defeat. Could we stop our form from dipping again? If you ask West Ham, they'll tell you that we're perfectly fine as we managed to run off 1-0 winners, courtesy of Awoniyi. There was a price to be paid for the 3 points at West Ham. Musa Niakate was sidelined for 2-3 months, which is a massive loss for our defence. Our final game of the episode is up against Peterborough in the Cup with a fairly rotated side. Johnson found our opener. Dennis's shot deflected off the post, and Jesse Lingard was on hand to tap in the second to round off 2-0.